Hello and welcome. It's me, Martin, and today I've got another video for you today, and I can't believe it's already Saturday. The weeks are just flying by. Anyway, today I'm going to be sharing with you something that's happened this week with regards to an online English teaching company that I've been involved with for 2 years. But before I tell you a bit more about what's happened in this company, maybe I'd like you to share right now in the comments below the experiences you've had with these online English companies. Have they been good? Have they been a bit shady? Have they been educational? So please let me know in the comments and try and share with each other the sort of things that you have experienced with online teaching companies. Anyway, let's get started. For about 2 years now, 2 and a bit years, I've been teaching on the side for a Chinese online educational company. And this company is called iTutor. For the first year and a bit, I was very, very happy with them. And I would have recommended, and I have recommended this organisation before to other potential teachers, and some of these recommendations have continued to work with them, and I felt proud to be part of this iTutorGroup community. Earlier this week, I received a notification, an update to my contract. And this contract is essentially telling me that my salary, my base rate, what my base rate is, will be halved, almost halved. So I will be earning less for actually doing the same. But I'm going to be going back a bit with regards to this company and why certain things have made me feel a bit unhappy working with them, and I'm now going to be moving on and looking for other online teaching companies to work for. At the beginning, as I mentioned, this organisation was good. They offered me a lot of hours to teach. I had already worked for different organisations before. They offered me a great salary on a self-employed basis, which you have to pay taxes for and that sort of thing. And also the sort of bonus structure that they had. And the bonus structure for this was that if you taught more than 50 classes, every class that you teach would be £1. But after 50, it would be 2, and it will double. So I would be earning £15 for a 45-minute lesson, plus £1 for that session. And if I taught over 50, I would get £100, plus the £15 per session. So I was very happy with that. The terms were really, really good and very favourable. And the only responsibility that I had was to ensure that my technology behind me was functioning as best as it can. And I had all the equipment necessary to teach online, which I did. And I felt very, very confident with that. And I had very, very few technical issues, maybe 2 in the 2 years that I taught with them. Anyhow, everything was good. Everything was fine for a year until the pandemic hit. And what I noticed was the pandemic decimated English teaching schools in England. These private language schools around the world, they had to close, and they were responding maybe slower to an organisation which had been established for God knows how long now. I think they're 20 years. They have 20 years online teaching experience, whereas private language schools, brick and mortar schools, they had very, very minimal online teaching experience. They didn't know, and everybody was responding to it in March, April time in the UK. What this caused was that there was an oversupply now of online English teachers. Private language schools in the UK were either offering bare minimum to potential language learners. The students were not coming to the UK to study English. They were studying in their home countries. Or, their economy is so bad that they don't have that money, that, the capability of coming to the UK to study a language, or any other country for that matter, especially during a pandemic when travel is so restricted. So the pandemic hit, and there was a mass shift of all these language teachers moving to teach for an online platform. And predominantly the online educators with the most amount of experience are those based in Southeast Asia. There's so many students in Southeast Asia. China, for example, they have such a huge population and so many potential students that the only way that they can get an assumed native speaker, I hate that term, the only way they can get a native speaker into that classroom is by doing it remotely. There was a huge shift. So many teachers converging onto an online platform, working for all these organisations based in Southeast Asia, China predominantly. And what did they do? Well, the first thing that happened, and I must state, iTutor was a Taiwanese company, but was indirectly bought out, and it was bought by a Chinese investment firm. The CEO of the Taiwanese company was shifted out and replaced by a Chinese CEO. So in all intents and purposes now, in 2020, it became a Chinese company. It was no longer a Taiwanese company. Their headquarters have been moved, and I think they're operating out of Hong Kong now, rather than in Taipei. And they have offices in Shanghai, Hong Kong, as I mentioned, and various other locations. However, things started to change when this investment firm took over. Last year, in December, last month, funny enough, I had an update to my contract. They did not even touch my base rate and bonus structure. But this week, they've decided to reduce the amount that I'm earning, and up to 50% reduction for 45-minute classes. So it leaves me in such a, well, it just annoys me. It's really frustrating because I've worked for this organisation for 2 years. There's been huge changes over the past 12 months with background checks, which are, I understand they're required now within private language educational institutes in China, as well as around the world. Background checks are fine. I've got nothing to hide. There's also submission of all your qualifications, which is again fine. There was issues with bonuses when you're doing demonstration classes for potential students. And this was the first flag that, got me worried, because they removed so much of my bonus over a period of a month. And I was just thinking, well, there's something not right here. Then there was a contract change in June last year, but that didn't affect me. And then December now, last month, they changed my contract or updated it. But now, 1 month later, they're deciding to update my contract again, but changing the remuneration rate which is, and if I don't accept it, and this is really frustrating, if I don't accept it, my contract expires at the end of May. And so I'll be without a job. And there is evidence that they're trying to push and urge teachers to sign on to this new contract, promising additional classes. So not only does the amount you earn decrease, if I stick to the same contract, my classes decrease. But if I sign on to this less lucrative contract, my classes increase. And it's very immoral, it's very corrupt, and I just don't feel comfortable working for such an organisation that's been pushing out teachers, and they've had mass exodus of teachers. They've got rid of so many teachers. One teacher I saw had 14 years experience with this organisation, and they were got rid of. So there's really no reason for me to stick around, and I'm quite happy to devote that time and that effort looking for an organisation that values me. I must say, this is my secondary income. It's really a chance for me to earn a bit more on the side, especially in these current circumstances where my primary income has reduced. And I'm looking around for organisations that want either a remote teacher trainer. Anyone watching, consider me. I'll be happy to do some teacher training. I'll be happy to be considered for online exam preparation classes, IELTS and FCE and various other examinations, and I'll be also very happy to offer my services for someone else who appreciates the qualifications I've got, the experience I've got, and the dedication I've got to this profession. Well, that's it. I did begin the video by asking everyone to share their experiences of teaching for an online educational company. Have they been good? Have they been a bit more questionable? Let's see. But if you enjoyed today's video, if you have any advice for me, please let me know in the comments. I'll be happy to receive any advice you have, because it looks like I have quite a bit of time in the coming future. However, I'm gonna leave it with a positive, because next week I start my first course with my students, teaching them for academic English and communication English at my university. So I'm really pleased to be involved with that project. That will keep me occupied. Anyway, take care, leave a like, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, because I'd like to have some support. And leave a comment, leave a like. I'll see you soon. Take it easy, and happy teaching. Bye bye.